Monday. Welcome on in to the Maggie and Perloff show. The best game of week 4 so far, Perloff. I think you and I are in agreement.
The Eagles win over the Jags?
Yeah, I had a feeling you were going to say that. No, we can talk about the Bills if you want to also. No. I think it's what we saw at Lambeau Field.
Okay.
A third-string rookie quarterback had Aaron Rodgers and company on the ropes. It took until overtime. And listen, the Packers pull this out. So if you're a Packer fan, you're probably like, whew, sigh of relief. And now the team's like on to London to play the Giants next weekend. I'm sure that one's going to be a thriller. But you've got to be. I was half joking.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, what?
You never know what could happen in London. Maybe you get a double doink. You never know.
Thriller. The London games are it's going to be a bad game. It's something weird is going to happen. The word thriller doesn't usually come to mind.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, you can have multiple definitions of a thriller. But I think what we were or I'll speak for myself.
Yeah.
What I was surprised by was just how disjointed the Packers looked in the first half. And granted, they found a way and Rodgers found a way to make some throws. But even Rodgers himself said the way that they're winning, if you go back to last week in a squeaker that they played against Tampa Bay, but that's on the road and it's Tampa Bay. Okay. And now to win like this in overtime, Rodgers himself said it's not sustainable. Unless you really think the Patriots are about to turn it on, the Patriots had no business being in that game. I don't care if Bill Belichick's the greatest coach of all time. Yeah. That's not supposed to be a place where he can hang with one of the greatest quarterbacks we've ever seen.
Okay, let's reframe the whole question here. If I had told you the Green Bay Packers were going to be 3-1, they're going to have a defensive player of the year candidate in the top 3, Rashawn Gary.
Yeah.
They're going to have an unbelievable running game, maybe one of the better running games in the NFL. You'd say, oh, this is awesome. The Packers are shaping up because we know when Aaron Rodgers plays at an MVP level, they will lose in the second round of the playoffs.
Or first.
That is, wait, when did they lose in the first? I counted the second round because of the bye. I'm sorry.
Yes, it was the divisional round, but they lost their first playoff game to the 49ers last year.
Aaron Rodgers being awesome does not translate into Super Bowls. What does translate traditionally is running game and defense, and now they have that. Now, listen, they outgained the Patriots by 200 yards almost. This was a fluke game. If you didn't get Bailey Zappi 37 seconds between plays and let the play clock run down.
Yeah, well, the Packers also got a couple seckends before the clock went off, too. Both teams got that. It was a little more egregious.
Yeah, and also Romeo Doubs sort of dropped a long touchdown. People were calling it a Des Bryant play. There are a lot of little things. I just think there are positive things here with Green Bay. And you know the deal with Green Bay. We talked about this before the season. It always takes forever to Aaron Rodgers to say, he says, relax. We're going to figure it out. He's working in these young receivers. They're just going to get better. There's nothing but upside here. I think you could be excited after that work.
So we're always going to let the Packers kind of, I don't want to say skate, but they always get the benefit of having an easy schedule because no one in the NFC North, great, the Lions are scoring tons of points. They're also giving up tons of points. I don't know what's going on with Minnesota. You want to bet your mortgage on Minnesota, go ahead. You're welcome to. And obviously Chicago's a mess. So they always get the benefit of easy wins because of their division, which is not their fault, but let's just call it like it is. And this doesn't look like a team right now that I'm like, it looks super dangerous. Listen, you're working in rookie receivers. Maybe it'll look a lot different at the end of the year. But even you said, if you want Rodgers throwing the ball all around the field, so far that has not been a recipe, at least in the last decade, for them to win a Super Bowl. So
so they can't do that now.
This just looks like a one and done. This looks like another one and done Packers team to me. I don't know. I was not impressed yesterday, and clearly Aaron Rodgers wasn't impressed either.
Who in the NFC scares them? They already beat the Bucs this year.
Yeah.
I think they're a better team than the Bucs. And so that leaves the Eagles, who've beaten, and I love the Eagles, you know that. I'm an Eagles fan, but they have beaten a collection of losers. And now to say that they're better than Green Bay, and I don't care about week 4, project into the playoffs. I don't know. Green Bay
We're
probably
about to watch the Rams tonight.
The Rams could be really good. They're starting to scare me because and the Niners was my preseason pick. Right. I don't know what's happening there. And I have to admit, the Cowboys could stomp the Eagles. I have no idea what's going on with the Cowboys. I owe you a huge mea culpa on that one. I was wrong about,
would you like to join the bandwagon now?
Yeah. Are you kidding me? I'm going on DraftKings. I'm tripling your bet on the Cowboys to make the playoffs. I want in on that action so bad. Now that their defense is amazing, of course, playing Carson Wentz helps that. But nobody in the NFC is head and shoulders above Green Bay. They're right where they Bay usually are right in the mix. The same Green Bay situation we've always seen.
I was surprised that the defense got gashed in the run game in the way they did, especially when you are facing, again, a third string rookie quarterback who was like at times going throw for throw, but really the run game is where the Patriots did a lot of damage yesterday. So maybe you have questions again about really how legit is the Packers defense this year. And then you even have LaFleur, who is making questionable decisions that he's basically apologizing to his team after the game that he burned a timeout, challenging that Dobbs touchdown when everyone knew that wasn't a touchdown. I mean, those are the kind of mental mistakes that he said he did it in like a passionate moment. Like he even knew he wasn't going to win the challenge. It's like, dude, come on. You can't do that, especially when this team clearly doesn't have a big margin for error. Look at the games you've played so far this year.
I don't know, Maggie. RELAX. I always have trouble spelling that. RELAX.
Ivy League degree didn't help with spelling that one.
Yeah. I don't know if you know. I once was totally screwed up in a passionate moment, said REALX on the Dan Patrick show. And we made a lot of gear out of that. Yeah, I do think, okay, the reality is you did mention the NFC North. The schedule's crazy easy. They're going to rack up a lot of wins. I don't mind. Yeah, coaches make mistakes on replays. Des Bryant thought it was a catch on Twitter. I'll go with that.
Yeah, I'm sure he did.
Here's just eyeballing it. I thought, and this is more the second half, Aaron Rodgers is still pretty darn good. That play where he looked off the guy and then he came over the middle of Tunyon, that's elite Aaron Rodgers. So it's still there.
It's still there. Sometimes he makes those throws where he's actually backing up and somehow is able to
it's unbelievable.
Just like drop a dime right in a guy's hands. I mean, yes, he's still an unbelievable quarterback. You know what? He's also making more money than any other quarterback is this year. And like, that's the thing. You always have to expect that he's going to lift the tide. There were times yesterday, and granted, most of it was in the first half, so I'll give you that, where he's throwing to guys and there's not a Green Bay Packer in the shot, like on the TV. I'm like, was he trying to throw that away? Is this intentional grounding? Like, what is he doing? So on Rodgers-like. And throw a pick six in the Lambeau to a rookie corner who he basically telegraphed it to. I mean, these things were just like not characteristic. But again, he made great throws in the second half. Even Belichick said that was the difference.
Okay, so anytime a play like that happens, just blame the receiver automatically. These guys have
Rodgers said it was his fault.
Yeah, don't even listen to him.
He took the blame.
He's taking the blame. Unless the only one who seems to know what they're doing are Lazard and Cobb. I love Romeo Dobbs.
That pick happened off Lazard.
Yeah, I am not worried about these guys at all. He's working in Dobbs. Dobbs became really good in the second half. He's going to have some drops. Watson had that nice little end around. They're fine. They're totally fine.
I don't know. Packer fans, you think they're fine? 855-212-4CBS, 855-212-4227. I will characterize them as
I'll do
fine.
a side bet.
Yeah.
When do they play the Eagles? This is coming up pretty soon.
No, first they have to play every crappy team in the NFL, and then they'll play the Eagles.
So I'll bet
they played both New York teams, which we can talk about. Jets and Giants actually both coming off.
They play the Eagles.
And then the Commanders. Oh, my gosh, murderer's row. Then they do have to go to Buffalo, at Detroit, Dallas, Tennessee.
In Green Bay. Tennessee and Green Bay.
They're not playing the Eagles till around Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it's okay. I will bet you, I'm not betting who's going to win the game. I will bet you they are favored in Philadelphia in that game. I think they are going to be... Wow. I mean...
Do you have no faith in the Eagles here? Everyone is like on their knees bowing down to the Eagles today.
I mean, listen, the Packers shut down Tom Brady last week, and I thought, okay, well, that's because Tom Brady's toast. And then Tom Brady's clearly not toast. This is the first time the Packers have had...
Tom Brady's not toast, but did you ever really think Tampa was threatening a comeback last night? Mahomes and Kansas City were on one. Like, they were... And it's not even just about the trick plays, but like it is about the trick plays and about how Mahomes is able to find receivers when he's so close to the goal line. We saw the cool Clyde Edwards-Helaire, touchdown pass where he basically floats it over. But like no other team can afford to get as cute around the goal line as freaking Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. I mean, the direct snaps, the weird stuff, like it is any other team in the NFL, like you're playing with your food and it's just like a terrible idea, except for Kansas City. They embarrassed the Bucs defense last night.
Week 4. I mean, this is a movie we've seen many, many times where the Chiefs are just rolling over everybody early on. I think the Packers defense, I know they had a little trouble. First of all, Bailey Zappi threw for 100 yards yesterday. He did nothing. And
efficient, though.
His big pass probably shouldn't have happened. So, I think there's a lot of reason to be excited. Rashawn Gary... I'm not sure how many players I'd take over him on defense. Maybe 2 right now. So I think the Packers feel pretty good because they played lousy. You're right. And they won. They're going to come in. All right, that's a bet. I bet you they come in this Philly game. Philly has beaten no one. No one.
You were not impressed at all that your team got down 14-0 right away and not only like brought it all the way back, but ended up with a comfortable 8-point win.
I think at a dry field, they beat that Jags team by 21 points. I do not think the Jags are good. I did until that week. I picked them. But Trevor Lawrence, was a mess.
Well,
I hope it was the weather.
The ball.
Yeah, I don't know if he's a bad weather guy, but no, I can't really think if Philly is going to handle both the Bucs and the Packers and the Rams. These veteran teams have been there. I think we're jumping the gun too much. Forget 4-0. Do you really feel confident that Philadelphia, who has had trouble stopping elite quarterbacks on the other side, is going to beat Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady? I just think you're taking these legends too lightly, Maggie.
I'm not taking the legends lightly. I'm looking at Aaron Rodgers, and I'm like, you're going to get elite Aaron Rodgers, but if you only get it for a half, then in theory, that should be beatable. Like, and this is going back to last week too. They really only played well in the first half of that Bucs game and then didn't play well in the second half. If I'm getting elite quarterback, but I'm only getting one half of elite play, that makes it a lot less scary. I mean, Tom Brady was good last night, but again, they get down into the red zone, they're kicking field goals. Like, of course you're going to get blown out.
They didn't get blown out. They were 28-17.
Respectable. And by the way, last night, we can second guess 100 different coaches' decisions last night, but why, when you cut it to 10 and it's 41-31 and you have 3:30 left on the clock and you just scored a touchdown if you're Tampa, you don't go onside kick there? They never got the ball back. Of course you're not going to. The defense couldn't stop the Chiefs at all. Like, there was no way that was going to work. I don't get that at all. That's what teams used to do to Tom Brady, and it never made any sense. Now Tom Brady's team's doing it to Patrick Mahomes. It's dumb. Anyway, 855-212-4CBS, 855-212-4227. All right, you're welcome to weigh in on the Packers and how you're feeling. We want to hear from Packers fans. We want to hear from Patriots fans, maybe feeling a little bit better. Because, like, the winner from yesterday from that game was the Packers on paper, but it's got to be the Patriots for their psyche.
What? No way.
Third string quarterback, and you go in and lose in overtime?
What's their record now? Aren't they 1-3? Oh, I do not think Patriots fans are happy. I mean, they're looking deep. They're looking at a lottery team. I know they don't have the lottery in the NFL. I feel like the Patriots are looking at 6-12 or whatever. Help me out.
You know how Belichick is.
6-11.
Thank you, Stu, for doing the math. You know how the Patriots are. The first month of the season just doesn't count.
That Patriots team? I must be missing it completely.
They just hung. Okay, you're also welcome to weigh in on the Philadelphia Eagles. Perloff doesn't want to believe it. You're welcome to weigh in on the Chiefs. They look like the best team in the AFC. They were super impressive last night. Thank you for watching our video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to see more videos like this, just hit the bell.
Yeah, ring the bell.
Just hit the bell.